Hello, today we're working on replacing the starter on a 2001 Yamaha Wolverine. It's a 350 cc engine. Yamaha used these engines on quite a few different other models as well. This particular model, the starter failed here in snowplow season, as you can see. It does have a rope start, but if you guys ever tried to pull the rope on this high compression engine, you'll know why they put an electric start on it. I saw some other videos of how-tos that indicated they needed to remove the plastic and the fuel tank and a few other things there. I was able to take a look at this and get the starter out of there already with not doing any of that. So this is a little bit of retrospect, period. For this project, you're going to need just a couple simple tools. You're going to need an 8mm socket, a 10mm socket, a 3mm hex, key, a small #1 Phillips. I'm using a 1/4" drive ratchet here as well, and these are to the two screws that hold the starter in. The new starter motor is here. I was able to source that on Amazon for about 35 bucks. It came with testing results and all kinds of other stuff there as well. We're going to put it in, see if it works. So as I tore this thing apart and started looking at it, you can see that the starter motor resides right in there. You can see that the positive battery terminal coming from the starter solenoid is sitting right there, and there's an empty space right there. All I did to do this is right up there's the carburetor, obviously, and all I did was loosen this band clamp right here, which is the Phillips, straight down from here, and then on the other side there's another band clamp right there on the intake into the cylinder head, and it uses the 3mm Allen on the other side of the four-wheeler, and I just loosened it and then just rotated the carburetor that direction, which gave me enough clearance underneath of the drain petcock and so forth to wiggle the starter right out through this hole right here where you see, and that saved me removing all of the plastic and the fuel tank and the carburetor completely off of the machine. I probably had it out in literally less than 3 or 4 minutes, and you can see there where the wire is, also where the two mounting bungs are for those threaded bolts that mount the starter motor. Okay, here we go. We're going to put the motor in this slot right there. Notice the motor does have an O-ring. I put just a touch of oil on that to help slide it into the housing as we go in. And you can see with just a little bit of turning and twisting, that motor will sit right down in that space right there. And because it's going to take 2 hands for me to line that up, I'll catch you on the other side of putting it in the housing there. Okay, we have it in place. It literally only took like 15 seconds just to wiggle it in there, and you can see we have it all lined up right there. We're going to take these bolts here and we're going to just start them back in where they go, and we will tighten those up there and get ready to hook it back up. Okay, we have it tightened back up in there. I just put the wrench on there to show you. That's a 1/4" drive ratchet with the 8mm socket, and it seems to work best on the forward bolt to access it from the machine's left side where the rope start is, and then the rear bolt back in there right down over there seems to be accessed the best with the same setup from the other side of the ATV, just underneath the exhaust pipe. It will fit in there and will work. So we've got it snugged down and torqued up. We're going to put the wire back on the stud and give it a try. Okay, so the starter's all hooked back up and everything is snugged and torqued down. So now all we got to do is we have to rotate the carburetor back to its normal position right there, and we will tighten up that intake to the carburetor from the air box, which is right there, with the Phillips, and we will tighten this band clamp up on the other side, making sure that there's no air leaks and making sure that the carburetor is sitting vertically. and we'll give this thing a start. Okay, moment of truth here. We got it in neutral, if you can see it, and we got her on. Here we go. Maybe we should choke it. The beauty of that whole test is the starter works. So a successful project. Seriously, it only took me about 5 or 7 minutes to take the starter out, and another 5 to 7, maybe 10 minutes to return and reverse the procedure. Documenting all that there as I previously showed you. Hopefully this will help you out in being a little bit more successful and making a smaller project out of replacing the starter on these Yamaha YFM 350 powered ATVs.